Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting Minecraft video. I am Tyken, and I have a very exciting announcement for you all. The alpha version of Gerudoku Genesis is being released in the comments down below, so go download it and immediately come back to this video. Now, being alpha, it only has all of the blocks, items, and GUIs. So it's mostly a complete texture pack, but it is missing a lot of things. And I do plan on switching out a lot of textures and fine-tuning a lot of the other ones. So, like I said, pre-release, it needs a lot more work. But this is the best that we've got so far, and I want you all to enjoy it while we continue to work on it. Now, one of the things that I'm particularly proud of is I'm sort of the resident 3D artist of the pack, and I've learned how to make 3D models. And I don't think I did too bad of a job, and I hope you all agree. I decided to make my own 3D rails. These were actually my first models that I've made, and I'm very happy with the results. Granted, I've had to remake them almost a dozen or so times, but you get the idea. It looks really good now. I even have raised supports. I even have corner blocks, which was way more effort than you could possibly know. Uh-oh, I need to fix those. They're not lining up properly. Well, at least they used to line up properly. That's really weird. I need to fix that, but you get the idea. All of this generally looks good, and kind of surprisingly so. I still need to work on making 3D rail carts. I think that will really add to this, because just having a traditional minecart on top of these kind of takes away from the immersion. Unfortunately, we'll need Optifine for that. These can be done in base Minecraft, so that's really nice at least. Some of the other things I'm excited about, besides the rails, obviously, is I've got into some other cool tricks using 3D models. You can see all these other blocks that we've done so far. There is part of Optifine called CIT. I don't know what that stands for, and I should have looked it up before this video, but essentially, it allows you to take an item, usually a specific item, like you can't name, like, a block of wool, this item, into another item, like you would any other item with an anvil, and it will turn into the new item. So, for instance, take a book, and we're going to name it single book. And you can see already in the output, it's the same until you finish the name completely. And then you get single book. And I didn't really finish the textures for in the hand. I mostly just wanted to make it look good on an item frame. But when you put it on an item frame, it looks like an actual book. Now, the neat thing about this is when you put a pressure plate over it. If I can grab a pressure plate. Nope. I have to type one in. When you put a pressure plate over the top, it hides it, and it just looks like you have a book sitting on top of a desk or a countertop. Same thing here with the Arcit steel ingot. I messed up everything just now. I messed up the pressure plate because once you push it down, it stays down. But yeah, you can see right here, it actually just looks like a couple of steel bars just sitting on top of a counter, which takes decorating to a whole new level. Now, unfortunately, in order to enjoy this, you will need Optifine. I don't know any of you that aren't use Optifine, but it is literally the one mod that you should be using on Minecraft, regardless of your views on mods. And, because like, even if you have a bad computer, you can lower all the settings more so than you could in traditional Minecraft, or boost them up, whatever you prefer. Plus, it allows you to do cool things like this. Now, there is another thing I could do, is I could take the traditional items like an iron ingot and make it look like those when you put them in an item frame. However, the main problem is you only have so many items that you can do, so many blocks you can do. Actually, you can't really do any blocks without changing how they look when you place them. Just the items mostly. And then the other problem is when you try to hang them up on a wall, they look kind of wonky and weird. I just had a book. Never mind. You get the idea. They look weird. There we go. If you hang them on the wall like that until they popped off. So yeah, CIT is much better for that, although I might be releasing a vanilla variant just for those of you that are very adamant against Optifine for whatever reason. Now, a couple of other cool things I've done is sideways slabs. I know, everyone thought it was impossible, but the trick is, it's entirely possible in vanilla Minecraft, Mojang just needs to figure it out. Now, this isn't actually as hard or complicated as you think it is. In fact, this is done entirely in vanilla, just using a custom model. If you haven't guessed it yet, it's just an item frame with a slab in it. Oops. Oh god. There we go. So, to give you an example, traditionally in Minecraft, we all know that when you put a slab in an item frame, it kind of looks like this. And a lot of you kind of like that because it allows you to look like handles, mostly for handles. But honestly, it doesn't look good. It's just the best that we have. And what I decided to do is replace that with a full-sized model. Now, obviously, you can still step through this. This is not a solid block at all, but it does allow for some cool things. You can even do sideways blocks for whatever reason, but it still looks really nice. And you can turn them if you don't like the texture. It's just really fun to do because now you can have slabs on the side, slabs on the ceiling. Another cool thing that I like to do is you can actually put item frames in the same space and, for instance, do something like this. And that looks really cool because it almost looks like a pillar, and on top of that, you can walk through it, so you can make like secret doors this way. So that's a really fun, interesting idea. Another thing I've done, if you haven't already guessed it, is sideways stairs. Using pretty much the same technique. All you have to do is take the model you want. In this case, it's literally just the exact same model, and you blow it up in the item frame. Really easy to do. And then what I've done over here, kind of like a little example of what you can do, is I have a very nice corner piece that looks like a support beam, and then half walls. So you can have like a nice full house with only corners and all that. It looks really nice. And again, none of these actually exist. They're not physical blocks, so you can just walk right through them, which is kind of a bonus and a negative. Does give me some interesting ideas on how you can use that for potential traps, but the problem is, you know, people have to be using the same texture pack as you, or it just won't work. Like, definitely have, I'm thinking, stairs like this, and you're like, oh, hey, there's a floor. I'm just going to walk across, and boop, you just fall right through. But yeah, all of the new greenery looks amazing. I believe Berry Tyrannosaurus redid almost all of the foliage, which I think looks dramatically better. My personal favorite is the kelp, especially when it's thick troves of it underwater. It kind of reminds me of Subnautica, which is a terrifying underwater game, and it does a good job of being creepy kelp. You can see a bunch of other models we're doing. A lot of them, like I said, still need to be replaced or just placeholders or just need to be improved upon in general. I also want to make models for a bunch of these, so those are going to change a lot. So yeah, I hope you're all half as excited to play this as I have been making this. I've spent so many real-world hours. Pretty much every spare hour I've had in the real world has been dedicated to this pack, so I hope you all appreciate all of our hard work, and download it in the description below, and I will see you guys soon with a new Let's Play series.